Talk about all the political news of the day on Michael Steele, former chairman of the Republican National Committee, a great guy, and Mark Levine, liberal radio talk show host. Welcome, guys, to the show.
It's good to finally be here with you.
I know. You haven't been able to...
And look, I'm sandwiched between two great personalities here. So
I thought you said two liberals. That's what I thought you were going to say.
This is going to be a long evening for me already.
I tried to get Michael on my other show that I had over at an unknown channel, and he was scared to come on with me there.
This woman strikes fear. I mean,
do you think that's
she's so pleasant? She's so nice.
So nice. But listen, would you think that's why Mitt Romney won't come on The View? He's scared of me or Barbara? Who's he scared of?
I don't think he's scared of anybody, but I will say that there is this sort of...
I think it's Whoopi he's scared of.
This cocoon of
Go ahead.
This cocoon of protection that they put around these guys. Republicans like to keep it very close to the vest, play it very safe. As chairman, I was a little bit more buck wild, as they say, and I would go out there, but, they wouldn't let me come on your show.
And that's why you're not chairman anymore.
That's why I'm not chairman anymore.
Let's move on. Let's watch
see how that worked out,
Republican Senate candidate Richard Murdoch said during a debate this week. Watch.
I believe that life begins at conception. The only exception I have to have an abortion is in that case of the life of the mother. I struggled with it myself for a long time, but I came to realize life is that gift from God. And I think even when life begins in that horrible situation of rape, that it is something that God intended to happen.
What an idiot. He must think God is really a bad guy.
No, I understand that. On the face of it, I went back and reread those comments, and my takeaway from it, number one, there was a point where he should have ended that and just let the rest of it go on its own or not say it. Mm-hmm. But having said it, my takeaway from it was that it wasn't so much talking about, God approving the act of rape, but the life that may come from something as horrible as that is still precious. And I understand that concept. There are a lot of folks who look at that situation, the life of that fetus, that baby in that situation, and say it is as valuable as any other. And I think that's what he was saying too, but not knowing for sure.
But he and this other jerk, Todd Aiken, I'm into name calling tonight because they really are out of control.
No, I understand. And
his legitimate rape that causes the female body to shut down.
Now that is where you get to stupid. And there's no.
And Joe Walsh saying that a woman can't die in the act of childbirth. He needs to learn some statistics about the hundreds of women that die every year in the United States
from that very thing.
Look, he managed to be both offensive and incoherent. When you think about the incoherence, though, here he's saying that God intended the rape, or that's what he said. So God raped a woman. I don't even know where to go here. Look, either God is evil, or
but Mark, that's not. I don't. Okay.
Look, bad things happen to good people.
That's true.
Bad things happen to good people. But he didn't say, all right, this is a terrible thing, and why does God allow this terrible thing? He says, no, God intended this to happen.
No, he didn't say that. Go back and you can replay. He did say that this is a terrible thing. He said, but out of something as terrible as that, something good. This life can come.
Usually they blame Satan. These religious.
That would make more sense. That would make more sense. That would be coherent.
But hey, I don't take him to be a religious nut. Your words. And I didn't see any attribution to Satan here. I just think, again, this is one of those moments where you have a candidate for office being very inarticulate on a topic in which, if you're going to go there, you need to be firm and really prepared to discuss it in an intelligent way, with a sense of compassion and understanding.
Okay, now wait, before you talk, I want to show you. Murdoch apologized for the remark today, and even though Romney says he disagrees with Murdoch, this ad is still running in Indiana. Watch.
This fall, I'm supporting Richard Murdoch for Senate. Richard will help stop the liberal Reid-Pelosi agenda. With so much at stake, I hope you'll join me in supporting Richard Murdoch for U.S. Senate.
Wow.
Uh-oh, as my grandson goes, uh-oh.
Well, as they say, timing is you know what, right?
It's not like Mitt Romney doesn't have his own problems with women. It's not like Mitt Romney doesn't have this 50s idea of, well, I had binders full of women. I didn't happen to know any successful women, but they gave me all these binders.
Come on.
I hired a few of them. Why? Because women need to be home at 5 to cook dinner for their children.
Why did they pull that ad? Who's running the ship over there since you left?
Well, that's a whole nother conversation. But no, look, I agree with you. I think you, in the heat of this moment, you pull that ad down and let this thing work itself out, because you don't know where it's going to go, number one. More importantly, you don't know how women, not just in Indiana, okay, yeah, we're going to win Indiana, we got that, but women in Florida,
you're not going to win Indiana. Murdoch's going to lose. Oh, you're going to win.
talking
You're
about
president.
Presidential.
Yes, right. Okay, right.
And so you don't know how women, who are looking at this, and now as you've very much laid out the indictment, one after the other, how they're feeling about this.
And then there's
there's
also Ann Coulter, who is really a crazy person.
My friend Ann, I love Ann.
Well, she comes on this show.
I know.
But she really has gone over the edge this time, because she was tweeting during the debate the other night, and she goes, "I hardly approve of Romney's decision to be kind and gentle to the retard." And then she tweeted, "Obama, stage 3 Romnesia, because cancer references are hilarious. If he's the smartest guy in the room, it must be one retarded room." What is it wrong?
On that last point, she was being sarcastic, because that was a funny where he did the whole Romnesia thing in the context of the conversation.
You're defending Ann Coulter. You're defending Ann Coulter. Ann Coulter, whose job it is to say the most offensive things she can so she can rake in the millions. Let me tell you something about Ann Coulter.
I'll defend you if it helps you rake in the millions.
Ann Coulter believes Ann Coulter. At least Murdoch believes the trash that he says. Right. Ann Coulter just says whatever she can to make a lot of money, and she makes a lot of money doing it.
That means you're not upset by it.
No, she doesn't offend me because she's beyond offense.
Wait a second. It doesn't offend you that she called the President of the United States a retard? That's upsetting the community of mentally challenged people. Come on, Michael.
Well, look, I mean,
that's obnoxious.
You understand, it is obnoxious, and that's part of her shtick. That's part of, you've had her on the show, and as you know, that's part of what.
This is over the edge a little.
Well, but wait a minute, it's no more over the edge than some of the stuff that we get from the left. And certainly during the Bush years.
Give me an example of something that's equal to that.
They equate the president to Hitler and all this other stuff.
Oh, everybody does that. That's such an old song.
Everybody does that. That's old school.
You know what, Michael? Once they bring Hitler into it, all bets are off. You know that. Nobody. I could say this is Hitler, that's Hitler. Nobody cares anymore. It doesn't mean anything. At least use Pol Pot. Use another dictator. Hitler is such a cliche.
Show that you know a different dictator.
Exactly.
Well, I'll put it to you this way. And you go, girl.
No, you don't mean that.
Come on. No, you don't mean that. You really don't mean that.
We're just getting started because they're terrific. More with my great panel in just a minute. Okay. I'm back with Michael Steele and Mark Levine. Okay, I want to play something for you from MSNBC's Chris Matthews and something he said after the debate on Monday. Watch.
I think they're more political than either you or I. I think they hate Obama. They want him out of the White House more than they want to destroy al-Qaeda. Their number one enemy in the world right now, on the right, is their hatred for Obama. And we could go into that about the white working class in the South and look at these numbers we're getting the last couple of days about racial hatred in many cases. This isn't about being a better president. They want to get rid of this president.
Well, he says that their number one enemy in the world is President Obama on the right.
It seems like it. I mean, here you have Mitch McConnell. No, wait a minute. When President Obama first came to office, what did Mitch McConnell say? He said, screw the American people, screw the economy. Our first priority, it isn't jobs. It isn't the deficit. Our first priority. Wait, let me say what he said. Give me a chance.
Go ahead.
He said our first priority is to make President Obama a one-term president. That was more important to him than helping the American people. What kind of leader puts their party ahead of the American people?
I would agree with
someone who's not a very good leader.
That statement by McConnell at the time, I thought was ill-advised, and because that's not what your job and your purpose is. It is, as we see now, 4 years later, with the lack of progress in coming out of Washington from both the administration and the Congress and Senate.
There's a reason why there's a lack of progress.
There's a reason,
because Republicans have filibustered more than every other Congress.
I'm going to give you credit and say you're more intelligent than that, because you know the way this operation works is both the administration as well as what goes on Capitol Hill. You've had over the last 4 years the administration. Look, at any time the president can say, "I know you guys are going to work with me, but this is what I'm doing anyway." And he hasn't done that.
He doesn't have that power. No, wait. He has done that with executive order.
What I want to know is, because Chris Matthews has hyperventilated on the topic of race. He seems to think that a lot of the hatred is racial hatred.
Some of it is.
What do you think about that?
He's just outright wrong about it.
No, he's not wrong.
You think so?
Well, show me the evidence of it.
The evidence of it is that white males support President Obama less than Kerry and less than
Dukakis. It could be money. Could be money.
So
part of it is cultural.
Wait a minute. Come on, man.
You look at the numbers.
Let him talk too.
You're sitting there. now you're getting into the land of crazy because you're sitting there talking about, well, white males support the Republican, therefore they're racist.
No, not all
that's
white
what you
males
just
are
said.
racist. But I'm telling you that his
just
numbers.
those who support Republicans.
No, I'm not saying all
What
people
about
support
Donald
Republicans.
Trump is now touting this whole, going on the television with this other annoying shtick he's into, which is that he will give $5 million to anyone who can produce, the president, he'll give $5 million to his best charity for producing the college and passport records of President Obama, implying that the man did not actually go to Harvard Law School and did not go to Columbia University. Well, and has also continues to think that he's not American.
He also should offer $5 million for Mitt Romney to disclose his tax returns. How about that? Mitt Romney won't do it because $5 million is nothing to Mitt Romney.
Only if he gets the write-off.
Well, it's not even enough votes for his wife's horse.
What do you think about that? I
mean, first off, on the Donald, some things are just left better said unsaid, and I think that speaks for itself.
Are you scared of him too?
No, I'm not. No, I just mean, why are we even having this conversation?
Because he throws these things.
He throws things. Just because you throw stuff out there doesn't mean you need to yap after.
So we'll put Donald Trump and Ann Coulter together, and they can go off and yap at each other.
You've got that across the spectrum, and you have it on both sides. We know that, but here we are now, Joy, in the final two stages, the final stage of this very important campaign. This, to me, is an unnecessary distraction. I just don't even want to dignify it with a response because I don't think it deserves it.
So you don't think when they say things like, well, his father was Kenyan and he wasn't born in this country, that's not racism?
Look,
come on.
People who want to, it very well may be.
It's a dog whistle.
It's a dog whistle, and those people respond to it. God bless you, respond to it. Fortunately, you're a very, very small sliver of the voting population if you vote at all. So let's just set that aside. I think the broader point that Chris Matthews raises, which is really what I want to address, is I'm sick and tired of this meme that Republicans are racist and they just hate Barack Obama because, look, as a candidate for the United States Senate, what the vitriol and the racism that I received from the left when I, after a debate, had Oreo cookies tossed to me by union members and Democrats, when I had the current minority leader in the House, Mr. Hoyer, refer to me as a slave and so forth.
Steny Hoyer?
Oh yes, oh yes.
Said that?
So this is
not Steny.
I find that hard to believe too, but I'll check the record.
Well reported at the time. Along with my image in blackface with big red lips.
Well, there are morons on both sides.
So we acknowledge stupidity for stupidity's sake, but to paint with such a broad brush, in my view, is it does not advance the underlying fact that we need to get beyond this.
So you don't agree with Chris Matthews?
No, I don't agree with him that that there's this every Republican out there is angling at. After
He's not saying every Republican out there, and most but the thing is this: every Obama policy, if you look at it, whether it's cap and trade or Obamacare, which used to be called Romney Care. These are moderate ideas, sometimes often conservative ideas, proposed by the Heritage Foundation. No one is saying out there, oh, well, we disagree on cap and trade. A few people are saying that. Most of the people are just saying, I hate Obama.
I have to tell you guys, this has been exhilarating. Thank you, Michael and Mark, very much. Please come again.
Thank you.
Next up from The Daily Show, Asif Monvi, and still to come, actress